Okay, so the Oscars happened, and yesterday I recorded a video with my predictions to talk about the Oscars. I hadn't made a video in a while, because I always love the Oscar season. And, of course, Final Cut took about, 3-4 hours to export the video, and then when it was done, it was just like, oh yeah, this is not gonna work anyway. So, by that point, the Oscars were pretty much over. So I'll kind of fill you in on what my predictions were for the reaction video, yeah! So overall, I think I fared pretty well in my predictions. I got most of the stuff right. Going on a main pick to alternate basis, I really didn't screw up till the technical categories, which I kind of knew my choices were a little dicey too. So anyway, overall the Oscars, I thought they were it was a great telecast. I had a lot of fun with it. I'm not someone who gets really upset if my favorite movie happens to not be a favorite, not get picked in any category at any point in time. If your favorite movie is not the front runner, then it gets a little bit of a pain in the ass to get upset about it that much, especially if another movie's winning that I think deserves it. Like last year, The Artist was not my favorite movie of the year. I mean, not necessarily one of the first few picks, but I still liked it enough. I love it, really. And I didn't mind the fact that it was winning a bunch of awards. I felt like it deserved it. Yeah, there were movies I thought deserved it more, but I mean, what's the point of myself having an opinion if I don't think other people should have them if they disagree with me? But for the most part, I can still enjoy the ceremonies, but the last couple years have been really dry and boring. Actually, the Oscars, for the most part, tend to be kind of like that. They're always nice to watch. I mean, I've never really I wish I was watching something else. I'm a movie lover. I love watching it. But this year, it was Seth MacFarlane, who I'm not a huge... I liked Family Guy back in the day, but I'm not a huge fan of him, and I think he did a really good job. He was kind of going for the Ricky Gervais shock humor, not nearly as much as him, and actually most hosts for shows and TV nowadays try to do that. I felt like he wasn't aiming for it too much. He had some other good jokes in there. And yeah, overall, he just kept me entertained, and he knew when not to make a snarky comment, and sometimes it was just, well-natured humor. So the winners, Argo, the big winner, Best Picture. I predicted it, and most people probably did at this point. I mean, if you had asked me a month ago, I probably would have said Lincoln, and then probably could have even gone to Life of Pi, or one of those, but with all of the ceremony, with all the other award shows coming forth, Argo did gain a lot of traction, because it was really big when it came out, went down, came back up, and I love Argo. Argo was my favorite movie of the year, and this is the first time since I think The Departed where my favorite movie has won, even though my opinions change. But yeah, the rest of the awards were really awesome, because it was kind of... Some of them I saw coming, but it was a very diverse selection. I think the biggest amount won was Life of Pi, which kind of surprised me in the fact that, well, first off, Ang Lee won Best Director. I had him as my alternate, because Ben Affleck wasn't nominated. I really didn't see David O. Russell winning, and it was either I had Spielberg and then Ang Lee, and I'm really happy Ang Lee won. I think that's awesome. His direction was fantastic in Life of Pi. There are so many strong points of that movie. I was expecting them to go towards Lincoln and Spielberg, because that's what they were really, big on, and it kind of reminded me of a couple years back with Curious Case of Benjamin Button, when that got, a shitstorm of nominations, and then by the time the Oscars came around, it won very few, and was no longer... It was kind of like, those were the poster movies for this year at the Oscars, and then just kind of fell out of that. But it's nice, because I didn't really know what was going... Even if I had, that was my prediction, it was awesome to see a well-rounded, allocation of awards. Anne Hathaway won. Awesome, really happy about that. She totally deserved it. Jennifer Lawrence won. She was my pick, and then Amemo Riva, who, I mean, she's so old. I wanted to see her win just because she's so old, and she seems like a really awesome lady. But no, I mean, Jennifer Lawrence, I loved her in Silver Linings Playbook. She was my pick. I never really got bored of the Chastain train. I thought she was good, but yeah, I had a bunch of problems with Zero Dark 30. Still a great movie, but I think it won one award, and it tied for it at that. Considering that was the front runner for a while, damn. Christoph Waltz won the first award of the night. Right before I posted my final predictions before the show, I changed Christoph Waltz. I mean, because Tommy Lee Jones had won a bunch of other stuff, and I didn't think he was that great. He was good, but he was Tommy Lee Jones. He wasn't remarkable. Christoph Waltz, he's won a supporting role for a Tarantino movie. it's, again, like 3 years later. Three, holy shit. And Daniel Day-Lewis, of course, won Best Actor. I really didn't, this is, like, easiest one to call other than Best Foreign Language Film, which went to Amour, obviously. I mean, I think he totally deserves it. He's playing such a magnanimous figure, and he just did it so well. I mean, yes, there was other more interesting performances, but as far as someone who, like, dominated what acting is, Daniel Day-Lewis did it, and I people get very upset because it's so obvious, but you shouldn't get down on something because it's obvious if it's deserving. I really don't get the mentality of trying to award something just to be obscure or interesting for some false sense of kind of originality if you're going to betray what truly deserves it. Yes, there could be arguments over, like, I thought Bradley Cooper did a better job, but I don't think you can argue Daniel Day-Lewis didn't deserve it at some point. Even, I would have loved to see Bradley Cooper win, but I'm cool with what happened. Best Animated Feature, I had this one going to Wreck-It Ralph, even though I didn't even care. I liked Wreck-It Ralph. You know, video game nostalgia is all awesome for me. Worked really well in Scott Pilgrim. I just didn't really think it was that, it was creative. It just didn't do too much for me. Paranorman was actually my favorite animated movie last year, but you know, that wasn't, I'm just happy it was nominated. But I had Brave as my alternate, and Brave won, I guess because they're always, it's like the redemption for Pixar, but it wasn't them coming back to like, hey, we're completely amazing again. It's like, oh, this isn't Cars 2, so you're welcome. I think my alternates wound up being the ones that won for both of the short, doc and animated, and then short subject, what? You know what I mean. The animated short, Paperman, I got that. And a documentary feature, I got. The short subject and short doc. Yeah. Visual effects, yeah, I mean, I'm happy Life of Pi won that. You know, totally deserved it. Very creative, weird, awesome, surrealistic uses of stuff. Film editing, Argo I had, because it really grabs that anxiety. The ones I fucked up in, production design, I had either, I think, Life of Pi and Les Mis. Went to Lincoln. I mean, thinking about it, I was figuring Lincoln was going to win in some other places, so I put those there. That still makes sense. Cinematography, I really was very close to having Life of Pi, but I don't even, Skyfall, I think, because I really wanted Skyfall to win, and I had a feeling it wasn't. But I just had that wishful thinking. Sound editing, I got sound mixing totally correct, but sound editing, I had a double chance to be right here. Zero Dark 30 and Skyfall both won. Best makeup, hair, I got. Best original score, totally screwed the pooch on that one. Kind of momentum that I saw for Anna Karenina. It wasn't, there are very few awards like because that movie had really, like, high ups and downs. It was like, oh, that's really awesome, but it was not so good. And then I think I had Lincoln, because the John Williams, they're always big on that. But no, Life of Pi won, and I'm happy, because Life of Pi's score was beautiful. And, I mean, that one is another one where, like, I wasn't surprised, I was just wrong. Overall, I was really happy with the winners, just this broad spectrum of different movies, all sorts of movies that I loved. Adele won for Skyfall. I love the way she gets emotional when she wins stuff, and her performance was fantastic. The Bond, well, this is after the Bond thing, but the Bond tribute, Shirley Bassey, so awesome. Goldfinger's always been one of my favorite Bond theme songs, and then getting your Skyfall later, it was just like, whoa, sweet. And then the Les Mis cast getting up there doing their shit. That was fantastic, epic, oh my god. Every time, I swear, every time I see, like a trailer, a TV spot, I hear a song, or they do something like this, I'm like, okay, let's just give Les Mis all the awards, because it just seems like it has everything. Knowing certain parts of the movie that are flawed, but still, like, unlike when I'm just shown, like, viscerally, I'm like, fuck, this is the best movie ever. I mean, Michelle Obama was there at the end. That was really unexpected. I mean, that's cool. I mean, she's, what a hip culture. I wonder if she's seen all these movies, especially because it's Argo, which, I mean, it's not, Argo, one of the things I loved about it is how, I mean, politically balanced it is. It's not really like, yeah, America, or like, oh, America. I mean, like, Zero Dark 30. I mean, I just wonder. That was cool. Just Jack Nicholson, he hasn't been in the Oscars for a while, and he's just creepy and awesome, and I love him. And it's crazy, because anyone... And it's awesome, because anyone... And kind of sucks for the movies, too. A good portion of the Best Picture nominees, I can see in another year... I could see him being one of those dominating movies that wins in all different categories. Life of Pi, Lincoln, Zero Dark 30, Les Mis. I'm kind of sad to that, because now, like, we can move on to 2013, because the first 2 months of the year are kind of focusing on the really awesome stuff from the year previous, which kind of makes you forget about how terrible, like, the first 2 months of the year are. Yeah, overall, great show. I thought it was good. I had a lot of fun. Happy with the winners. I mean, even though I loved Argo, I didn't feel the need for it to win everything, and it won 3, and that's awesome. It won... I'm gonna go, because I can't really articulate today. But tell me what's your thoughts on the winners, surprises, what's Seth MacFarlane, and just the show overall. And, yeah, I'll be back with a review this week.